excited. You are in for a special treat tonight. I'm Sally Stolik, the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, and I am super excited to be here to introduce the Wethersfield Festival Band Concert this evening. It is one of my favorite nights, and so you're really in for a special treat. I first of all want to congratulate the students up here on the stage for all their hard work and perseverance, and our students in the audience. Music education builds a lot of skills that help them in school and beyond, but I want to point out their hard work, their dedication, their perseverance, and their commitment to the arts, so let's give them all a round of applause. I also hope that you've made many new friends throughout your time in festival and in our ensembles and memories that will last your lifetime. So first of all, second, let's thank our amazing music teachers that are here this evening. On stage we have Mr. Jacob Wojciak, conductor of the festival. We have Drew Bernard, conductor of the Mr. Michael Bowles, conductor of Wethersfield High School. I also want to thank all the other music teachers in attendance tonight. Our music department truly has a sense of family. They're there to support each other, and we have many other music teachers that we want to thank in the audience today, so let's give them a round of applause. Our district music teachers are amazing. There's a lot of details that go into recruitment, organization, details, and organizing hundreds of students and families. So we greatly appreciate their dedication to the program and making sure all those details came together for this evening. I also want to thank our many high school mentors that are on stage already that work with our elementary students, playing with them side by side and coming to practices. So let's give them a special round of applause. And students, the most important people, your parents, your caregivers, your family in the audience. I think they've done a lot of carpooling. Maybe dropped off your instrument a time or two, reminded you not to leave the house without it, and all those friendly reminders to practice and try again. So let's give your parents a great applause. So just some friendly reminders. We are streaming tonight's concert for Blues the Lose, so if somebody's not here, they can watch it live, but also it will be recorded. Please remember, if you haven't already done so, to silence your cell phones so you can really enjoy the concert this evening. Another public service announcement is that we want to put more and more instruments in the hands of our students. And so we're seeing an increase in students taking instruments, which is wonderful. And when you're spring cleaning, it doesn't feel like spring right now, but pretty soon we'll be spring cleaning. We will gladly accept any donations of gently used instruments. You can drop those off at any school, and we'll send you a thank you for your donation. So, I am the only thing standing in front of you in an amazing concert. So please join me in welcoming the festival band with Mr. Jacob Wojciak.
These students are incredible. They really have come together. We haven't spent that much time together, and we are playing difficult music. Speaking of music, I chose these pieces because these all kind of mean a lot to me in different ways, and I don't like spending time on music that won't make me proud, and that is a quote by Ben Folds, one of my favorite artists. These guys have really done me proud, and I think that they should be so proud of themselves. Our next song is called Jupiter from the Planets. All right, so I would like to thank some people before we move on. We have some middle school and high school helpers that have been with us pretty much for every rehearsal, just to give us that leadership. Bryson, Angie, Ariana, can you guys give a wave? Yep, Olivia, Natalie, Rhea, Michaela, Darren, Alejandro. We've got one more song before we'll give it up to the Silas Dean Jazz Band. But I don't really want to talk anymore. I didn't tell our sound guy, can we turn the other mic on for the beginning of this one? We've got a spoken part from our celebrity guest, Mr. Dion. They rose in toes on the accordion from the icy wastelands to the center of barbarian. Thank you, Mr. Dion, for the saying. We are going to transition over to the Silas Dean portion for now. We are going to carefully follow each other this way and come on up over here.
Great. All right, thank you so much for coming tonight. We are the Silestein Middle School Jazz Band. So this is our portion tonight. We have 2 songs for you. Before we play those, I would just like to say a quick thank you to all of these wonderful students behind me for their dedication, for waking up early every Wednesday to come rehearse with us and make some awesome music. So give them a round of applause for us. And also, I'd like to say thank you to the parents for supporting your kids and bringing them to school early every Wednesday so we can do cool things like this. So our first song tonight is Blues by Five. It was originally recorded in 1956 and it was composed by Red Garland, who is a pianist. We will have 3 soloists tonight, so we'll have Annie on the clarinet. Annie, wave. Say hi. Then we will have Oliver all the way back there on the drum set. And finally, we will have Lucas on the bass. So thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy Blues by Five. All right, thank you so much. While we're switching over to our next piece, elementary schoolers, I just wanted to say to all of you, thank you for being a wonderful audience. And I would just like to say we would love to have you next year, if you're in 6th grade now, joining us on stage with the South Austin Middle School Jazz Band. If this is something that seems exciting to you, I know it's a little early in the morning, but I promise it's a lot of fun and it's really worth it. So we'd love to have as many of you join us as possible next year. So thank you very much for your attention. And our second and final piece for you tonight is one that you'll hopefully recognize. Here is September, originally by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Thank you once again, Barrett. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We will get off the stage and take a brief break so the high school will come up to the stage next.
Thank you once again for those of you who've been here for both concerts, but if you don't know me already, I'm Mr. Walls, I'm a high school band director. I'll talk to you more in a minute, but I'm actually going to turn it over to our current band orchestra booster president, Ms. Kat Kramer.
Hello. I just wanted to talk to you guys all a little bit about our Music Boosters. We're a small group of volunteers who fundraise for the music department. All the money we raise goes towards funding music programs. So we do things like buying some instruments, marching band supplies, and props, and support staff payments. We have a bunch of fundraisers that we run through the year. I'm sure you've seen our big fruit sale that we do every year around the holidays. And twice a year we do our bottle and can drives, which I wanted to mention because coming up in May, we are doing it on May 17th, so start saving up your cans and bottles for us. And other than that, we have two big fundraisers I wanted to ask you to consider. The first one is our spring Advent concert. This is really for high school, but you know, these programs here that we have for the spring concert, you get a really nice colored one that we include with pictures and memories of the year, and you can do a nice shout out to your student there. If you're a senior, you might want to buy a full page ad, or a small one, it's okay. But it's a great way to just keep a memory of your years through music here. And if you have a small business in town or a big business in town, you want to buy an ad, we do have forms on the way out, so please stop by the table and grab one, or you can email the Wethersfield Band Boosters at gmail.com and we can help you out with that. And then the other big one I wanted to talk to you about is going to be coming up at the end of the month, on April 26th. We're turning the gym into a giant mattress showroom. Why would we do that? because this mattress sale is going to be a huge fundraiser, please, to help us fund new marching band uniforms. If you've seen the marching band uniforms, they're pretty old. They're pretty outdated. They're falling apart. We've had them since 2013. So it's time for some new ones. They've got really cool ones now with like new fabric that isn't polyester, so that'll be really cool for the band. So all the proceeds that we make from that will go towards the uniforms. That's our one big push for uniform money. It won't bring us the whole $50,000 that we need, but maybe we'll get close. And that's it. That's all I want to talk to you about, except to ask for volunteers. I have a lot of, I don't have a lot. I have a small group of volunteers who do basically everything for us, from planning the banquet for the band, buying food for band boosters, for the marching band when we do our trips and stuff, and we could not do it without them. Completely volunteer, taking time out of their day. We all work too, so this is all stuff we do at night. We do have our next meeting coming up May 1st, so if you're available, Mr. Bowles will send it out to Parent Square. We do it all on Zoom. We don't judge. Come here, sweatpants. We're all in ours. So please consider joining us. And if you're an 8th grade parent and you know your kids are continuing music next year, it's not too early to come and join us and just find out what we do, and maybe you have some great ideas to help us fundraising for next year. Thank you.
I really want to just echo again that without the booster organization, and a lot of you have seen this group and seen a lot of the groups and things that happen here, we simply could not exist. I mean, we talk a lot about marching band. Marching band is only a small part of it, but almost every section of this band has had something purchased or supplied by the booster organization, all the fundraising that they do, and so it's just absolutely invaluable, and we can't exist really without them. And we need that parent involvement. We'd love to see everyone join that group and just chip in a little bit so that we can provide experiences for all of these students. A lot of these students that's up on the stage also have the opportunity to travel through all this fundraising and offset that cost. A couple years ago, we went to Walt Disney World, and we're going to Seattle here in just a couple of weeks. We went to Disney. 4 students paid for their entire trip just by fundraising, and just by putting in those efforts and helping with that. So it's a really great opportunity, but we need more and more folks involved with that. On that note, this group behind you is the Wethersfield High School Symphonic Band. I'll tell you more about them later, but we'll start with our first song, Fanfare. If you're here for the last concert, sorry, this next thing's a repeat, but it's the same demonstration. I just want to talk to the parents again about why music is different in schools. Music is like the ultimate group activity, it's the ultimate team sport. There's no halftime, there's no bench, there's no B team going to come out, all right, go to the locker room and figure out what's going on next. And at the end of the day, there's no scores. We're really here to share everything that we can with you so that hopefully we have a magical experience together and enjoy this musical moment. But that takes a lot from every musician that's on the stage. There are 38 musicians on this stage, and in order for us to do the best that we can, 38 people have to be operating at 100% effectiveness 100% of the time for the full duration. And there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of different instruments with a lot of different playing styles. Students not only have to read the notes, they have to read the rhythms, they have to know how loud to play, how short, how long, what type of style, are they the important parts? They have to bring out the melody, what's that weird thing? There's 100 things going on in their brain every single second of every single note. And it takes so much to achieve that. And in order for it to sound the best that it can, we have to play as close to 100% as we can. So we're going to do a little demonstration, and we're going to change just one element of music. That's just pitch. That's putting the right button down at the right time. And ultimately, that's probably the most important part. But that is just one part of what's going on and what they're playing. And we're going to alter the success rate of that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play one section as close to 100% as we can. The best we possibly can play. And it's the song you just heard, so you kind of know what it's supposed to sound like. But this is as close as we can play it to 100%. That's the best we can do. And so I'm going to ask every student on this stage to reduce their note accuracy to an A. And at Wethersfield High School, that is 90% is an A. That is 90% accuracy. So some students on the stage are going to play one note, maybe two notes, three notes incorrect over the course of this small section. And you'd be surprised at how much that affects the song. If we were grading them like any other thing, they played 90% of the notes correct. That's an A, that's a 3-8, that's honor roll, that's valedictorian right there. It just demonstrates how important and how effective every single person is on the stage. It's really the one thing that they do during the day where everybody matters equally. It doesn't matter what part you're playing. If you're not playing that part correctly, you're not contributing. It's just about that contribution. And we don't grade them on that every day, we just grade them on their effort. But that's just that demonstration of how effective it can be when everybody is 100%. Just for a demonstration, this is 85%. My mom would have been thrilled if I came home with an 85% in chemistry. That would have been on the fridge. But that 100% is the hardest thing about music, and it's the challenge, and the real truth of it is we're never at 100%. Okay, the song we just played for you, we didn't play it at 100%. We never do, we never get there. But it really is about chasing that, and that dedication, and that grit, and that determination that makes music very unique in their experience. Just so your ears are clean, we'll play that again one more time at 100%. While they shuffle around, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this band. This is one of two bands at Wethersfield High School. We also have a concert band. This is mostly 10th, no, this is all just 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. There are no 9th graders in this group. But this band, everyone in this band receives an honors credit for taking band, so it's just like honors math and honors English. They play more concerts than the other groups, and they do a few other performances. Last year, this band got to go play at the United States Coast Guard Academy, We played with members of that academy at the National Band Symposium and received a citation of excellence for that performance. This year, we've been down to Sacred Heart University for their band clinic just at the beginning of last month. And in May, they were invited to share a concert with the Central Connecticut State University Wind Ensemble. So on May 7th, we'll be playing a concert with that group, which is a really prestigious opportunity for them to play outside of this community and been recognized for all the work that they've done. This group is auditioned, so every student passes an audition to come into this ensemble, and they put in a lot of hard work and dedication for that. This next tune, did I kill all the time? Perfect. Is called Cry of the Last Unicorn. shuffle around just for their last tune, I just want to say just a quick thank you to all of my colleagues in the district and to the Wethersfield High School Administration, of Wethersfield Public Schools. Because without them, we don't get to host events like this. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is either the second or third time we've done it like this, where we actually get to see all of these bands at these levels together and get the opportunity to perform together. We had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to rehearse. It was really great to see all of that interaction across all of these schools, because I think it's something that we need more of here in Wethersfield, because there's a band in every single school. And it's that one connection that all of us can have to each other in middle school and elementary school students. I really hope that you see this up here and want to be a part of this someday and keep working toward it and find those opportunities to grow and keep going with your band journey. This last tune is what we like to call a bandy band tune. It's kind of turned into an oldie, which is kind of surprising. It's called Arabesque. Like I say, we'll continue. We're going to take just a quick second and bring everybody up on the stage in an orderly fashion for Pirates of the Caribbean.
So we're still getting set up. So we'll use this time to do a little more thank you to the administration that's here, and to my colleagues. I know Mr. Cole said it very eloquently, but thank you to the parents for bringing their kids here, and for child positively, or even this event has affected you, feel free to send us emails and say, you know, you guys are great, thank you. Feel free to send it to admin, that's great. But really, if you want to affect change and grow our music program, send something to the Board of Ed, the members on the board, because they're the ones that hold all the power that can support our music program, even if, you know, I don't support it, but of course I do. So, thank you all for coming tonight. No. Eddie, we're going to perform our next song. Are your headphones off? Yeah, good. One last thing. I am seeing faces that I haven't seen in years because, you know, I've been at Webb and Charles Wright and Hammer, but seeing some faces that have grown and are now in the high school is just such a joy. I'm so glad that you guys stuck with it, all of you high school people that I've known. You guys are awesome. And hi to the live stream. Ready? Thank you all for coming tonight. It means a lot that you're here. We're going to dismiss from our groups, Saturday in the high school, and then elementary will be dismissed from the cafeteria. Thank you for coming.